Hello my dear students, I am Dr. T. Pandeyaraj, working as Assistant Professor, Department of Agronomy, College of Agriculture Campus, Acharya Narendra Dev University of Agriculture and Technology, Azamgarh. In this video, we are going to see what is atmosphere and layer of atmosphere. First of all, we will see what is atmosphere. What is atmosphere? Okay. So, the atmosphere means it is colorless, tasteless and odorless mixture of gases that surround the earth. It is colorless, odorless and tasteless mixture of gases that surround the earth atmosphere. So, this atmosphere extends up to a height of 1000 kilometer, or sometime it may extend up to a 1600 kilometers. It may be heights about 1000 kilometer or 1600 kilometer. So, the mechanical mixture of gases that surround the earth atmosphere do not react with each other. So, whatever the gases present in the atmosphere that do not react with each other. Gases do not react with each other. Okay. So, all the gases present in the atmosphere move freely. So, next one is composition of atmosphere. Okay. The main composition of atmosphere is nitrogen contains about 78% and oxygen is about 21%. Next one is argon. Argon present about 0.93% and carbon dioxide present about 0.03%. Okay. So, these are the main gases present in the atmosphere. Nitrogen contains about 78%, oxygen 21%, argon 0.93% and carbon dioxide present 0.03%. The next one is structure of atmosphere. Next one is structure of atmosphere, or you can say layer of atmosphere. Based on vertical temperature difference, the atmosphere is divided into different layers as troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere and exosphere. We will discuss all this layer one by one in details. So, first we will discuss what is troposphere. Troposphere. Okay. So, troposphere is located at the lower layer of earth atmosphere. It is lowest layer of earth's atmosphere. Most of the masses occur in this layer. You can find all the dust particles, suspended particles are most of the masses present in this layer. So most of the masses, about 80 to 85% of total atmospheric masses only occurs in this layer. So that's why this layer is called densest layer of atmosphere. So most of the masses, about 80 to 85% of total masses only found in this troposphere. So that's why this layer become densest part of the atmosphere. One more thing, that all the physical phenomena such fog, dew, temperature variation or cloud formation, precipitation, everything occurs in this troposphere. So all physical phenomena occurs in this layer. So such example, precipitation, cloud, dew, fog. So all these physical phenomena occurs in this troposphere. That's why this layer is called wettest layer. Wettest layer of atmosphere. Okay, because the cloud formation, dew, fog, everything occurs in this troposphere, and this troposphere contains more water vapor. So it is called wettest layer of atmosphere. You see, the bottom of troposphere is at Earth's surface, and the height of top of the troposphere varies with latitude and season. Bottom is at Earth surface, and top of the troposphere is varies with latitude and season. For example, near the equator, the height of troposphere as high as 20 kilometer, whereas at mid latitude the height of troposphere at mid latitude the height of troposphere is about 10 kilometers, and when we move further upward at polar region, the height of troposphere is about 7 kilometers or 8 kilometers. Okay. So this height of troposphere vary with latitude. In many exam, question asking what is the average height of troposphere. So the average height of troposphere is 12 kilometers. Okay. Average height of troposphere, is 12 kilometer. How? You see, at equator, near the equator 20, at mid latitude 10, and the polar region, the average height of troposphere at polar region 7 kilometer. Okay. So you divide it to 3, okay, you take average, then we will get 12 0.3 kilometer. Okay, so average height of troposphere is 12 kilometer. Okay, the answer is 12 kilometer. Another characteristic of troposphere is air is warmest at bottom of troposphere near the ground surface. Then air get colder as move upward across the troposphere. So air at the bottom of troposphere, it is warmer. It is warmer. Then when we move towards upward, then colder air. Okay. And another characters of troposphere is temperature variation. You see, the temperature decreases with increasing altitude. So this is peculiar characters of this troposphere. Temperature at bottom of troposphere is high, and when we move towards upward, the temperature gets colder. Temperature decrease with increasing altitude. Okay, altitude. So this is all about characters of troposphere. Troposphere is lowest layer of Earth atmosphere. Most of the masses occurs in this troposphere. So it contains about 80 to 85% of total masses present in the troposphere. So that's why it is called densest layer of atmosphere. So all the physical phenomena occurs in this layer. Example, precipitation, clouds, dew, fog. So this kind of all the physical phenomena occurs in this layer. So and this layer contains more water vapor. So it is called wettest layer of atmosphere. The bottom of troposphere is at Earth's surface, but the height of top of troposphere varies with latitude and season. For example, equator 20 kilometers. At mid latitude, the troposphere height is around 10 kilometers and polar region around 7 kilometers. So the average height of troposphere is 12 kilometers, and the air warms near the ground surface, that is bottom of troposphere, and air gets colder as rise upward. Similarly, temperature decreases with increasing altitude. So there is one more character is pressure. Pressure also decrease with increasing altitude. Okay. So this is all about troposphere. Next layer is stratosphere. You see, the boundary between stratosphere and troposphere is called tropopause. You can find there is a thinner layer between stratosphere and the troposphere. So this region is called tropopause. This region is called tropopause. So this is a just transition layer between stratosphere and troposphere. So the second layer is called stratosphere. So this stratosphere located just above the troposphere, and it extends up to 50 kilometers. It extends up to 50 kilometers. Okay, it extends up to 50 kilometers, but the bottom of stratosphere vary with latitude and season. Okay, so it is second layer. It extends up to a height of up to 50 kilometer. Okay, it starts up to 50 kilometer, but the bottom of stratosphere varies with latitude, as what we discussed in troposphere. Okay, so the bottom of stratosphere vary with latitude. Okay, so for example, near equator, the bottom of stratosphere starts at 20 kilometers. Mid latitude, the stratosphere starts from 10 kilometer, and at equator it starts from 7 to 8 kilometers. Okay, you see, ozone, an unusual type of oxygen molecules that is relatively abundant in this stratosphere. So this ozone heat this stratosphere as it absorbs energy from ultraviolet radiation from the sun. So the temperature increase with increasing altitude, because this ozone molecules absorbing energy from ultraviolet radiation. So this O3 molecules more in stratosphere. Okay, O3 molecules more in stratosphere. So it filter UV radiation from the earth, and that's why it is responsible for higher temperature with increasing altitude. So temperature increase with increasing altitude. Okay, so because of this stratification, there is little mixture of gases, and there is little convection, and this layer quite stable. That's why all the jet airways and aircraft fly near the tropopause or bottom of the stratosphere. So little convection and mixture resulted in highly stable this stratosphere. So this is the reason why jet or aircrafts fly at tropopause or bottom of the stratosphere to avoid any turbulence. Okay, and one more thing, that air at stratospheres are very dry. Air is very dry, and there is no chances of cloud formation. No cloud formation. Okay, air is dry and there is no cloud formation in this stratosphere. But there is one exception, that is polar stratospheric cloud. Shortly it is called PSC. Okay. So these polar stratospheric clouds are the exception. Okay. Here clouds form. So these polar stratospheric clouds formed in polar region at the distance of 15 to 25 kilometer altitude when the temperature drops below minus 78 degree Celsius. Okay. So this polar stratospheric cloud found in polar region where the altitude of 15 to 25 kilometer at temperature drops below minus 78 degree Celsius. Actually, this polar stratospheric cloud is destructive one because this polar stratospheric cloud encourages the reaction of ozone molecule depletion. Okay. Encourage the reaction. Okay, encourage the reaction for O3 molecule destroy. Okay. So that's why this cloud is called nacreous cloud. That's why this cloud is called nacreous cloud. Okay. Nacreous cloud. Okay. So you can find nacreous cloud here. Okay. Okay. So polar stratospheric clouds is also called nacreous cloud because this cloud encourages the reaction for destroying ozone molecules and cause ozone holes. So it is a destructive one. So that's why it is called nacreous cloud. So in this stratosphere, air is 1000 times thinner than at mean sea level. Okay, air, you will find air in the stratosphere is very thinner, that is 1000 times higher than at mean sea level. Okay, air at mean sea level. So as we discussed already, because there is little convection and there is little turbulence in the air, and whatever the materials goes to stratosphere, it can stay for longer time and it damage the ozone molecules. So this is all about stratosphere. Okay, this is all about stratosphere. Next one is mesosphere. Okay. So next one is mesosphere. Mesosphere is directly above the stratosphere and it is third layer of atmosphere. So boundary between mesosphere and stratosphere is called stratopause. Okay. The boundary between mesosphere and stratosphere is called stratopause. Okay. So above the stratosphere there is one more layer, that layer located at bottom of the mesosphere is called turbosphere. Okay. So this turbosphere located between 50 and 60 kilometer height. Okay. So we will see why this layer is called turbosphere later. So this mesosphere extends up to a height of 80 kilometers. It is third layer. It extends up to a height of 80 kilometers. The temperature of mesosphere is strongly decreases with increasing altitude. At top of this mesosphere, there you can find the temperature would have minus 90 degree Celsius. So temperature strongly decreases with increasing height. So you can find minus 90 degree Celsius at top of the mesosphere. You see, unlike all other layers, the mesosphere is difficult to study. So less is known about this layer of atmosphere, because weather balloons and aircraft cannot fly as high enough to reach this mesosphere, because these weather balloons and aircraft only fly in the stratosphere bottom layer, and the satellites orbit at thermosphere or above thermosphere. That's why we didn't have much fact about this mesosphere. So that's why it is very difficult to measure and characterize this mesosphere. Okay. This mesosphere contains more amount of iron and other metals, because when meteors enters into mesosphere, all the meteors vaporize in this mesosphere, and some materials left in this mesosphere. So this leftover materials contains more amount of iron content and other metals. So meteors vaporize in this mesosphere, so it left material with iron and other materials. Okay. So that's why I already told you while discussing beginning of this mesosphere, there is a layer called turbosphere, because the meteors while reaching into the mesosphere, most of the meteors burn and vaporize in this layer, and the some materials left in this bottom of mesosphere, and this materials creates some turbulence. So that's why this turbulence found up to 60 kilometers. So like polar stratospheric cloud, in mesosphere also there is special form of cloud called polar mesospheric cloud. Okay, polar mesospheric cloud. So this cloud found at very height of mesosphere. Okay, at very height of mesosphere. Polar mesospheric cloud. Okay, So polar mesospheric cloud. Okay, polar mesospheric cloud, or you can say this cloud is called noctilucent cloud. Noctilucent cloud. Okay, noctilucent cloud. So found in top of mesosphere layer. Okay, found in top of mesosphere layer. So this noctilucent cloud found very top of the mesosphere. Okay, and in this mesosphere layer there is odd electrical discharge related to lightning, that is called L waves. L vis. Okay, L vis, L vis are and Sprite. Okay, so L vis and Sprite found in mesosphere layer. L vis and sprites found in mesosphere layer. So that means odd electrical discharge, okay, odd electrical discharge related to lighting. Okay, so this is all about mesosphere crater. So it is third layer up to a height of 80 kilometers. So here the temperature decreases with increasing height. Likewise, as we discussed earlier, troposphere, here also the temperature decreases with increasing altitude, but here the temperature strongly decreases with increasing height. So it can reach up to minus 90 degrees Celsius at top of the mesosphere. And here troposphere, the boundary troposphere, here you can find minus 60 degree Celsius. Okay, the temperature would fall down minus 60 degree Celsius in troposphere at top of the troposphere. Okay, whereas in mesosphere it fall down minus 90 degree Celsius, and this mesosphere difficult to study. So there is less known fact about mesosphere unlike all other layers. So in this mesosphere, most of the meteors vaporized while coming towards earth, and it left some materials. That materials contains more iron and other materials. So in this mesosphere there is one special cloud that is called polar mesospheric cloud, or you can say noctilucent. So this cloud found at top of the mesosphere. So here you can find L vis or sprites also. That means odd electrical discharge related to lighting. Okay. So this is all about mesosphere characters. Sometimes the stratosphere and mesosphere together called middle layer. Okay, sometimes the stratosphere and mesosphere commonly called middle layer of Earth atmosphere. So next one is thermosphere. Okay, so next one is thermosphere. So this thermosphere is directly above the mesosphere. Okay, this thermosphere is directly above the mesosphere, and there is a transition between thermosphere and mesosphere is called mesopause. Mesopause. Okay, mesopause means it is a boundary layer between thermosphere and mesosphere. Okay, so this thermosphere located above mesosphere. Okay, thermosphere located above mesosphere. So it extends from 80 kilometer to 500 kilometer or 1000 kilometer. Okay, it extends from 90 to between 500 or and 1000 kilometer. You see, although thermosphere is part of layer of atmosphere, the air density in thermosphere is quite low. Air density air density is low. Okay, air density is low. In lower layer of atmosphere, that is at troposphere, the gases present as molecule form, whereas in thermosphere these gases present in the form of atoms, because solar radiation, which contains high energetic X-rays, gamma rays and ultraviolet radiation, break the molecules and make into atoms. So the main composition of this thermosphere is oxygen atoms, nitrogen atoms and helium atoms. Okay. Okay. So oxygen atoms, nitrogen atoms, helium atoms. Okay. Whereas in troposphere, so these gases present as O2, N2 and likewise. Okay, molecule forms. You see, the height of thermosphere is vary to several kilometer altitude, because much of the X-rays and ultraviolet radiation absorbs in this thermosphere. See, when the sun is very active, it emitting more radiation and this thermosphere hotter. So this thermosphere become extended, or you can say puffed up. When sun is active, okay, when sun is active, emitting high energy and expect more, or you can say puffed up. Okay. So when sun is very active, emitting more energy and thermosphere become hotter, and that's why the thermosphere altitude increases to several kilometers. Sometimes it extended to 1000 kilometer when sun is active. Okay. To 1000 kilometer also. In thermosphere, here you can find aurora. You can find aurora. What is aurora? Aurora. So that means, aurora means the charged particles like protons, electrons or other ions break the gaseous molecules or atoms and it gain the energy. Okay. So suppose this is atom. Okay, this is atom or molecules. When the solar radiation, okay, the solar radiations collide these atoms, what will happen? So these atoms gain much energy, isn't it? This atom gain much energy. So this energy has to be dissipated. Okay, this energy has to be dissipated. So it emit more light. It emit more light. Okay, so this light is more colorful. Okay, so the gained energy dissipate in the form of emitting more light. So that is called aurora. Okay. So this aurora particularly occurs at high latitude. High latitude. Okay. Aurora means the charged particles break the atoms or gaseous molecules. It gain more energy, and now this energy has to be dissipated. So what will happen? These atoms or molecules emit more light emitting. Okay, light emitting. So in this way it dissipate the or lost the energy. Okay, so this is all about thermosphere characters. This is all about thermosphere characters. Okay, it located above mesosphere. Okay, it located above mesosphere. There is boundary between thermosphere and mesosphere. It's called mesospace. Okay, and here it extends from 90 kilometer to between 500 and 1000 kilometers. Okay, so here thermosphere, the air is very warm and the air is dry. So that's why the air density is low, and here the main composition of thermosphere is oxygen, nitrogen, helium atoms. Okay, whereas these gases present in troposphere as molecule form. Okay, so when sun is active, it emitting high energy and expand into several altitude. Okay, it may be 400 to 1000 kilometers, and the aurora you can find in this thermosphere. As we discussed earlier, what is aurora? That means the charged particles break the atmospheric gases and molecules, and these molecules now gained energy, and this energy dissipated in the form of emitting light. Okay, so this is all about thermosphere. So next layer is exosphere. Okay, next layer is exosphere. Okay, so this exosphere is uppermost region of atmosphere. Uppermost region of atmosphere layer. Okay, so this exosphere is just like vacuum. Okay, this exosphere gradually fade into vacuum. So you can say it is vacuum layer also. Okay, you can say this exosphere is vacuum layer. Okay, you see, no scientist agree that exosphere considered separate layer. Okay, so exosphere do not consider separate layer of this earth atmosphere. So no scientist agree exosphere is separate layer. Okay, but some scientists believe this exosphere is separate layer. So many satellites orbit in this exosphere. So IRS orbit in this exosphere. What is IRS? Indian Remote Sensing. So many satellites orbit in the exosphere, and ISS, okay, International Space Station, orbit in this exosphere or below exosphere. Okay. So many satellite orbit in exosphere. Okay, many satellite orbit in exosphere. Okay, so this is all about exosphere. So this is all about atmosphere layer. This is all about atmosphere layer. Okay, so commonly the atmosphere layer includes troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere. Okay, but this exosphere, some scientists considering as separate layer, but this exosphere is mostly as vacuum layer. Okay, so up to 1000 kilometers, okay, up to 1000 kilometers, all the atmosphere layer present. So you see this troposphere, stratosphere and mesosphere. So there is no changes with their any characters and their height of this layers top. So that's why these layers are called homosphere, and this thermosphere and exosphere, the height of top of troposphere always changing constantly. That's why this layer is heterosphere. After this atmosphere layer, there are number of layers, that is magnetosphere. This magnetosphere normally found up to actually the magnetosphere found up to 36,000 kilometer distance. Okay, 36,000 kilometer distance. Okay, so this magnetosphere extends up to a height of 36,000 kilometers. Okay, so this magnetosphere is also called Wallen-Allen radiation belt. Okay, Wallen-Allen radiation belt, because this because Wallen-Allen, his scientist, found this layer. Okay, so that's why this magnetosphere is also called Wallen-Allen radiation belt. Okay, so this magnetosphere named as Wallen-Allen radiation belt. Since he discovered this layer. Okay, so above this magnetosphere there is geostationary phase. Geostationary phase, or you can say orbit. Okay, so our Indian satellite. Okay, our Indian satellites orbit in this geostationary phase. Okay, so it extends up to 60,000 kilometers. Do you want to know behind this layer? Okay, so after this geostationary phase, there are still many layers. You can say celestial sphere, chromosphere, okay, chromosphere, and photosphere, okay, photosphere. So celestial sphere, chromosphere, photosphere. Okay, so many of us asking to anyone where moon is there, where moon is there. So we are answering moon is there in sky, but in really the moon not in the sky, because sky you can find at troposphere. Okay, but moon always there in celestial sphere. Okay, moon present in celestial sphere. Okay, so after this photosphere, then sun will come. Okay, sun will come. So in the sun again there are number of layers. Okay, so this is core. Okay, this is core, and this is convective layer, and this is radiative layer. Okay, core, convective layer, radiative layer, photosphere. Photosphere means the light sphere. Okay, light sphere. Chromosphere, chromo means color, chromosphere, celestial sphere, then geostationary phase, magnetosphere, exosphere, thermosphere, mesosphere, stratosphere, troposphere. Okay, and ultimately we can reach on Earth. Okay. Hi, welcome to Hello Agrarian by Dr. T. Pandiraj. In last video, we discussed different types of Earth atmosphere, that is troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere and exosphere. In this video, we are going to discuss ionosphere. In our Earth planet, X-rays and ultraviolet light from sun continuously colliding with the gas molecules and atoms in the Earth upper atmosphere. Some of these collision knocks the electron from atoms and molecules and creating electrically charged ions. You see, in upper atmosphere, okay, in upper atmosphere, the high energy X-rays and ultraviolet light continuously collide the atoms and molecules. Okay, so it creating large number of electrically charged ions. Okay, electrically charged ions. Okay, so for example, suppose our Earth atmosphere contain oxygen molecules. Okay, so what will happen? This X-rays and ultraviolet light hit the oxygen and it separate electrically charged oxygen and electron. Okay, so that means so this X-rays and ultraviolet remove the electron from molecules and creating electrically charged ions. Okay, electrically charged ions means the electron removed from atoms. Okay, electron removed from atoms. Okay, so for another example, suppose nitrogen. Okay, so what will happen? So this high energy light and ultraviolet light, so this nitrogen separate into electrically charged nitrogen and electrons. Okay, so these electrically charged ions and electrons behaves different than normal atoms and molecules. The ionosphere have three main regions called the D layer, the E layer and F layer. These regions don't have sharp boundaries and the altitude or height of this ionosphere vary during the course of day and night hours and from season to season. You see, the D region is the lowest one. It's starting about 60 or 70 kilometer above the ground, and this D regions extending up to 90 kilometers. Next higher is the E region. This E region starting at 90 or 100 kilometers from ground layer and extending up to 120 or 150 kilometers. And the uppermost part of the ionosphere, the F region. So this F region starts about 150 kilometer and it high as 500 kilometer above the surface of our ground layer. You see, the regions of the ionosphere are not considered separate layers, such as the more familiar troposphere, stratosphere and mesosphere. Instead, they are ionized regions embedded within the standard atmospheric layer. The D region usually forms in the upper parts of mesosphere, while the E region typically appears in the lower thermosphere, and the F region is found in the upper reaches of the thermosphere. The height, fraction of ionized particle, and the existence of the different regions of ionosphere varies over the time. The ionosphere is very different in daytime versus nighttime. So height, fraction of particles, and existence of ionosphere layer, it varies over the time. Okay, as we discussed earlier, during the daytime, X-rays and ultraviolet light from sun continuously provide the energy that knock the electron from atoms and molecules and producing a continuous supply of ions and free electrons. So during day hours, X-rays and UV light, UV light continuously provide the energy. So this energy knock the electron from atom, producing continuous supply of ions and electrons. But in night hours, recombination process, recombination process takes over in the absence of sunlight. You see, during day hours, whatever the atoms and molecules were ionized, all these things starts recombination in the absence of sunlight. So the number of ions drops. In night hours, the number of ions drops. You see, during daytimes, X-rays and ultraviolet light continuously provide the energy, so that knocks the atoms and gas molecules and produce more number of ions and electrons. Whereas in night hours, because of no sunlight, the recombination process takes over. So what will happen? The number of ions will get decrease. Number of ions will get decrease with no sunlight. You see, over the course of most night hours, the D region, the ionosphere D region completely disappeared. So it is disappear. And the E layers, what will happen? It weakens as number of ions decreased drastically in the night hours. In next day morning, the solar X-rays and ultraviolet light returns. This D region and E regions are repopulated with ions. So regarding F layer, regarding F layers, during day hours, this F layer existed as F1 and F2 layer, but in night hours, this both F1 and F2 layer, okay, both F1 and F2 layers stick into single layer as F layer. Okay, you see the impact of ionosphere is large because this ionosphere affect radio communication signal, okay, affect radio communication signal. And another one thing that the GPS satellite use signals to determine the location. The accuracy of GPS can be severely reduced as when those signals pass through ionosphere. Okay, so it affect GPS signal and accuracy. So this is all about ionosphere. I hope you understand about ionosphere layer. If you like this video, you like, share and don't forget to subscribe our channel. Thank you.